How are you guys doing? My name is Jesse Pleasant. I am the co-founder and CEO of Changency. And today we're going to be doing an initial launch breakdown of Cadence Water is Not Enough campaign / brand launch. And I'm really excited about this. The owners of Cadence, have played a significant role on the way I live my life. I have so much respect for George and Ross and the way they dedicate themselves to their brand, to their business, to their families, to the projects that they work on. Something that's truly inspiring, something that I try to take and implement into my life. So, without further ado, let's get into what we're going to be doing today. First, we're going to go over important notes on Cadence, right? And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a breakdown of why I think those things are important. Then we're going to review Fit Insider's article on Cadence's campaign. Then we're going to break down Cadence's brand launch on YouTube. And then we're going to do a breakdown of Cadence's brand launch on Instagram. So, important to note, Cadence's mission statement is bring the highest quality, science-backed ingredients and formulas to those who need it most. Now, with that mission statement in mind, a couple things that are pointed out to me, I underline. Highest quality, science-backed, to those who need it most, right? So initially when I first looked at this mission statement, it was a little vague, right? I was looking at it, I was like, I don't really know what it means. I don't really know who it's targeted to. It almost seems too broad, right? But as I did this breakdown, I understand more of what they're going after. And one thing you're going to see a lot is aesthetics and luxury appeal, right? Highest quality, science-backed. These are for people, this is a brand for people that are serious about health and wellness, about peak performance and achieving peak performance and finding and refining different ways, to achieving peak performance. So highest quality and science-backed are two key pillars, I think, because science-backed builds credibility and because it also reaffirms the fact that this is the highest quality that you're going to get on the market and to those who need it most, right? So next, is this a product or a service? This is a product to achieve, and the purpose of this product is to achieve peak cognitive and physical performance by reaching optimal levels of hydration. If you don't know the benefits of hydration, I think that is very beneficial for you to look after that or look into that and see how you can implement different hydration tactics so you can achieve peak performance or a better level of performance in your day-to-day, right? If you can't afford something as luxury of a product like Cadence, what's stopping you from looking after things that might be the first step to a place like Cadence, right? Everyone starts somewhere. And you'll see, and as I break down these videos, that George and Ross talk about where they started and how that led them to where they're at right now. So don't let someone's chapter 10 discourage your chapter 1, guys. So next, is this B2B or B2C? It's displayed as a B2C product, but when they're wholesaling their products to stores, they operate in a B2B atmosphere, right? Consumer sentiment affects B2B business a lot. Before we buy a wholesale portion of your product, how do people feel about it, right? Why would we want to in-house this product and have it sit on shelves, take up inventory if it's not selling, right? If we're not going to be able to get our money back and more, right? So keep that in mind. And their target audience, affluent males, performing athletes, business leaders, and fitness enthusiasts, those who seek to reach higher levels of performance out of themselves. And how long have they been in business? Newly founded in 2024, but they have established themselves in business through monumental success with other brands. Now, if you've watched my Peloton breakdown, you understand why I think it's important to know how long a business has been running. I think tenure has a lot to do with establishing a brand, right? It takes time to establish a brand. So I like to pay attention to how long business has been because, look, this is the initial product launch for Cadence. Did they do a great job? What are some things that they could have done better? What are some things that they need to double down on, right? The beginning matters. This is, they always say first impressions matter, and this is the market's first impression of Cadence. Now, this is slightly different than, let's say, someone that doesn't have an established personal brand, launching a product, because they have built a brand through other businesses that's mentioned, and that also does trickle down throughout Cadence as well. So it's not fresh, but it's not set in stone as well. So I read this article. Let me move my face for a second. So I read this article. Cadence Clean Hydration Powered by Salt. Now the description I think is important for you guys who don't know who Ross and George are. Ross Mackay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, founder of Daring Foods, and George Heating, co-founder of Represent, launched a new luxury performance brand with a science-backed water plus salt hydration beverage, right? Luxury performance brand. Pay attention. That is the most important thing. Performance brand. Luxury performance brand. So look, what did I first know? Luxury performance brand. Guys, when you are breaking down articles, don't skip over these little details, right? The title is important. The description is important just as much as the body of the text is important. Okay, you're going to find little nuggets within all these things are going to help you get a better understanding. And that full, broad understanding that you're going to be able to take away from these little intricate pieces of everything are going to help you make a proper diagnosis, okay? So Ross and George are recognized as leading figures in the health and wellness space through their successful business ventures and personal brands. A key factor to Cadence is George and Ross's personal brand, right? And that's a key factor to a lot of businesses that are launching in 2024. Personal brand. People love to buy from people that they trust. And 2024 has established that thought 120,000%. If you can get people to trust you, you can get people to buy your product. Simple as that. Committed to delivering a health conscious and trustworthy product to a market that would truly benefit them, right? Most products that are operating in this space, this is what they want you to know. Most products that operate in this space lack essential ingredients and promote low quality ingredients, right? Look, we don't have the optimal amount of salt, and we're going to replace that with sugar. That's what another brand is doing in this hydration supplement space. But they're saying, no, cut the BS. This is for the serious people, right? We're not going to have high sugars. I think there's zero sugar, actually. And we're going to make sure you're getting your optimal levels of salt, because we want you to be able to drink this drink and actually see a difference in your performance, because that's the goal of this. And this product is designed for those who take health seriously and value premium quality. Cadence is a luxury option for individuals willing to invest in the best for their well-being. Like, this is something I'm going to reinforce. Cadence is not for everybody, okay? And they want you to know that. This is for the serious. These are for the people that want and strive and believe it is a necessity for them as a person to achieve these peak levels of performance. And they're setting the benchmark for quality in the world of hydration supplements, right? Look, we've been in your shoes, we've tried these products, and we're letting you know, look, this is the new quality. If anybody's going to be comparing themselves to any product, it's going to be Cadence, okay? And I like that about them. They always go for the best. They don't just want to be in there. They always want to be the best in whatever market that they're operating in. And that's why I have so much respect for these guys. So they did, I think, a 19-minute, close to 20-minute initial brand launch video that was a sit-down interview style. And there's a lot of things that I took away from that. Look, guys, I'm not BSing with you, okay? I really am a student of this game. I really do care about marketing, and it's something that I have a huge love for. So when I give you guys these breakdowns, I'm really watching these things, and I don't know if it's going to focus, but I really do take a lot of notes on these topics that I'm going to be touching on. As you can see, this is a full page. I do not have a full page worth of notes on here, so I'm going to give you the most important ones, or the ones that I think are most prominent. One, They capture the luxury performance brand image with the aesthetic and cinematics. One thing you're going to notice from George specifically, anything that he is tied to is going to be aesthetically pleasing, for sure. There's not going to be any lack of cinematics or aesthetics, and that helps reaffirm the quality and the standard that Cadence wants to make known. Right, we mentioned that this is B2C. And when dealing with B2C, you want to make sure that you're honing in on those emotional triggers. Right, as a person, it's more of those emotional aspects, the trust, the quality of life, right? The improvement that you're buying into. And in order to get someone to make a decision when they're buying a product, it really has to do with how emotionally attached you can get them to your product. And they do this amazing by making this a sit-down interview. It brings a sense of intimacy and emotion and draws the audience in. They embrace a new identity while acknowledging past success, but they present it in a way that adds pressure and makes you root for them as if they're starting from scratch. And that's great when building a brand, guys. That is great. That is something that is important. If you have a past business that you've worked on and you've seen success in, and you are starting something new, this approach, I think, is a great approach. Look, guys, I know I've seen success in the past, and you might think that this is going to make this easier, but I actually have a higher bar to live up to. So now you're going to be emotionally attached to me and be rooting for me like I'm an underdog or as if I'm starting from scratch when I'm not. But I'm getting you on my team, right? There's a quote in a book even by Patrick Bet-David that says, choose your enemies wisely, right? Usually when you have monumental success, you gain a lot of enemies. But they're saying, look, we're building this new product and we want you to be on our team. And the way that they framed it was beautiful. They built credibility by showing the audience that you are one of them and they are one of you. It's like a trust us. We've been in your shoes, searching for results like the one we just brought to the market. We've been the guy working out, trying to figure out how do I do this better. We've been the tired CEO, right? We've been the overworked individual striving to accomplish their goals. And just like you have, and we were searching for a product that would help us reach what we feel is peak performance, and we weren't able to find it. So instead of us continue to go on this lonely search, we're going to bring the product to market that we've been looking for. And look, guys, the search that you're going on stops here. We have the product for you, right? And in their interview, they bring up a relatable problem that they had, and they know that others had. They tell a story behind it that's relatable as well, and they bring a solution, which is Cadence. Once again, this is the B2C emotional trigger aspect of marketing that's important when you're selling a product. Everyone strives for peak performance, from the C-suite executive to athletes to everyday individuals, to just improve their overall quality of life, right? That's important. They're bringing an inclusion. Look, this isn't for everybody, but if you can relate to this feeling that we have, we recommend that you try it, right? And I think they do this because they trust their product and they trust that they do have a great product. Look, we just need you to buy this one time. We know it's expensive. And look, this isn't for everybody. This is an expensive product. This is for the serious. But hey, if you are someone that is striving for that peak performance and whatever that means for you, give Cadence a try. Because look, we have faith that once you try this product, it's going to be something that becomes a staple, something that you're going to yearn for, because you are going to notice a difference. And they're true. It's true. It's not only athletes striving for peak performance, right? There's so many people throughout their day-to-day that just wants a better quality of life. Everybody just wants a better quality of life. And when you bring a product to the market that's able to do that, that's a beautiful thing. And they want you to know, look, it might not be for everyone price-wise, but it is for everyone in an aspect of we can all relate on this goal of just wanting to live a better life, right? Continue. So Cadence aligns with the emerging idea of balance that's being embraced by the fitness and entrepreneurship communities. Something that I call healthy extremism, and I'm sure I'm not the person that came up with that, but this is the word that made sense. It's like an oxymoron. healthy extremism. When you think of being extreme, you don't think that's healthy. But what they're doing is saying, look, you have to be extremely disciplined to achieve success. You have to be borderline obsessed, not even borderline. You have to be obsessed to achieve this quality of life that you want. But while you're overworking yourself and while you're doing more than the other individual and while you're doing more than the 99% is, while you're achieving or striving to be in that 1%, do it in the healthiest way possible. Be extreme in the healthiest way possible, right? And Cadence aligns with that. Look, this is for a select individual. This is for a select market. But look, we want to bring this product to you and bring this sort of healthy extremism mentality that's going around the entrepreneurship and fitness communities. And I buy into that 100%. I love that. So strengthens their ecosystem by connecting their name to all aspects of a daily lifestyle. George, you are a genius because you have done, if you understand, and I'm recording this on a Mac too, you've built an ecosystem. George, people can work out. Think about someone achieving, think about you, right? You're trying to achieve the best quality of life. What are you going to do? You're going to try to get better sleep. You're going to try to become physically active and physically healthy. You're going to try to become mentally healthy, right? And you're going to appear and dress and groom yourself in a way that presents you as a well put together individual, right? When it comes to achieving peak performance, George has built a beautiful ecosystem. To represent 247 and now Cadence, George has really said, look, I'm the go-to guy when it comes to just peak performance and overall quality of life in general. You want the best clothes? Shop at Represent. You want the best workouts? Download the 247 app. You want the best supplements for sleep and peak performance? Whether it's fitness, working, drink Cadence. Building an ecosystem and being known as somebody that provides that is extremely, you just have to clap for somebody like that, right? So congratulations, George, on doing this. And I appreciate the humility that they bring to this interview. Many people see George and Ross as these deities or icons, but the humility makes them more relatable and fosters a more inclusive environment, which is important. 2024 marketing is something that's going to be doubled down on in 2025 is that inclusionary community building aspect. If you are not seeing the sales that you want, or if you're not seeing the engagement that you want, how do you flip that? How do you increase your bottom line? Build a community. That has been the best marketing strategy of 2024 is community building of all time, but it's just been more, focused on in 2024. And you see a lot of individuals focusing on that community building aspect. I hate when I say They highlight various aspects of product-based business like Cadence. George brings valuable B2C experience from Represent, and Ross contributes the wholesaling B2B expertise from his work with Daring Foods. And that is something that is extremely important. They recognize their role. They recognize who's good at what, right? George, B2C, when it comes to building community and emotionally attaching people to a product, George has and his brother Michael have done that extremely well, and the team that they have that Represent have done that phenomenally. Ross has gotten his brand, Daring Foods, in some of the best grocery stores nationwide, globally even. Them working in tandem is going to make Cadence a brand that's going to be here for a while. So social media rollout. Guys, this has been the hardest thing for me, okay? It's been the hardest thing. I really do adore these two men. I think they're amazing men. But you see the green. This is the good. We're going to get into the bad, okay? And this is just my expertise, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not God of marketing, right? I don't know everything. But this is just what I've noticed and things that I think that they can definitely take away and use to their advantage. But one thing I do want to say, through my breakdown of reading the articles, looking at the website, watching the videos, looking over their Instagram, I can tell you what they're doing. They are using their media platforms to attract wholesale buys, and they are using their personal brand to achieve the day-to-day sales. Because you can, why wouldn't you do that if you're them, right? Why not? That's what makes the most sense. Look, before we really, because look, you have to understand, they have brands that demand so much of their time right now that are huge. But why not get that nugget? Why not add to that ecosystem? We can. Look, George and I, if I'm Ross, George and I, we have built amazing personal brands. People look up to us. People look to us for these solutions in this space, right? So they've used their media to promote and attract wholesale buys, achieve that B2B distribution, and they're just relying on their personal brand to, the everyday buyer. When it comes to George and Ross, they're just always, I don't know as much about Ross as I do George, but when it comes to George and representing the 247 team, they're just like 10 steps ahead, right? It's when it seems like you think they haven't figured out, and then they drop something that you didn't even expect, and you're like, oh wow, okay, well, now I'm even more excited. They know how to build intrigue and keep relevance. So we're gonna go through the positive. Cinematic and aesthetic, like I said, nail on the head. That delivers the luxury piece. The way they display and place their product makes them appear as a necessity and a product that enhances one's life. If you go on their Instagram, you see their product placement, where they're at, the events that they're at, the hotels, the businesses that they're doing, they have partnerships with. It's saying, okay, look, all the highest quality things that you guys look up to, we're a part of. The highest quality of running, New York City Marathon. You saw Cadence there, right? They do a great job of displaying their partnerships with other brands. Like I said, I think there was a couple hotels, and it's just aesthetically pleasing. Like, you just feel better looking at it. And that's that. Once again, B2C, emotional triggers. This all adds up, guys. Great user story at highlights. It educates both the B2B and B2C customers. Highlights are an underused portion of social media, right? When someone first goes to your page, what are they going to do? They're going to look at your profile photo. Then they're going to look at your followers and following ratio. Then they're going to look at your bio. And then they're going to look at your highlights. And then after that, all of the things on your feed. Highlights are an underused portion of Instagram, and Cadence uses it beautifully. It educates the audience. It answers a lot of questions. And going on, their Instagram is extremely flexible. They haven't really picked what direction they're going to go in yet. They don't know. It hasn't been solidified or whether or not we're going to use our Instagram to continue what we're doing and lean more into the wholesale B2B side, or if we're going to really lean into this B2C consumer and build this mega community around Cadence like we have 247, right? And that's good because they don't have to pick right now. They simply don't have to. But it's extremely flexible, and no matter what direction they decide to go in, they'll be able to divert, and it won't be an awkward transition. And they do a great job of capturing that runner's aesthetic that's been encapsulating this fitness space lately. If you're in the fitness space and the health and wellness space, you know what I'm talking about. It makes it so cool to be a runner right now. It feels like the coolest thing you could do is go put on that running belt, have your gels, have your electrolytes, have some nice gear, and then go hammer some miles. It seems cool. Seems amazing, and they've done a great job of that. Now, these are some things that I would just improve on. When marketing your business, it's important to use the platform for their purpose. Instagram, UGC, low production day in the life, behind the scenes brand development, and team member content is what people want to see. That is what's thriving on Instagram right now. And that is what you as a brand should be using Instagram to do. Build your community, show the process, get others involved, and show your team. Get people emotionally connected to you. All of those things are emotional connections. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for your team. We feel like we're a part of your team. Now we want to see more of it. I want to help you grow because I feel like I'm helping me grow. Right? B2C Instagram. What I think that they're doing, and if they want to lean more into that B2B, do it on LinkedIn. They don't have a LinkedIn profile. And truth be told, LinkedIn just added Reels. They could really add a twist that's never been seen on LinkedIn, but still focus that B2B wholesale pitch on LinkedIn, because that's what the platform's for, right? And I would consider more effectively incorporating the perspective of the C-suite and individuals just striving for peak performance to enhance their quality of life in general, right? It's very fitness heavy. It's very fitness dominant, which I know that is the main thing. But I think if you did add that twist of, look, you are the, you're the office, you're the guy in the office, or you are the CEO, right? You're the executive that wakes up at 5 a.m., make sure he gets to go work out in so that he's able to operate and be a better leader, right? Or you're that doctor who just needs those electrolytes so that they're always on the ball and that they have peak concentration because they have to deal with so many different things. I think that if they were able to add that aspect, that would be very fire, and that would only build, that audience even more. And increase audience education. When you first go on that page, and if you go from the bottom to the top, I don't really learn that much about Cadence, if I'm being honest. I don't understand why it's important to hydrate, right? I just know that it looks cool and it's digitally pleasing, digital eye candy for sure, nail on the head when it comes to that. But outside of that, I'm not really sure what Cadence is about. I kind of have an idea that it's a hydration supplement, but outside of that, I don't. If I am new to this space, I'm not sure why I need it. And like you said, the target audience is for sure people that already are educated, but you have to come. They're too aesthetic to not be gaining stray followers, if that makes sense. And in order to nurture those followers and turn them into loyal brand members, you do have to turn up that education piece for sure. And it just better engages your existing audience as well. Oh, wow, they feel like you are the person to come to when it comes to hydration information. And that's never going to be a bad thing when developing your brand. Now, I have way more notes, and if you guys are curious about a full breakdown, look, go to my website. You can book a consultation with me personally. And if it's outside of Cadence and you just want to know more about a campaign that's happened in your market by one of your top competitors, call me. We'll go over it. I'll break it down to you. I'll be able to tell you the things that I notice that you might not be able to notice. I'll be able to give you a nice strategy for you to go along and implement with the business where you're at currently. Follow us on Instagram at change.ncy. Visit our website at changencdm.us to book a consultation like I just said. And let's grow, guys. 2025, there's a lot of potential that needs to be taken from the market. I believe that I could teach you, and I believe there's so many resources out there. If you don't want to pay, go on Instagram, go on YouTube, go on X, go on LinkedIn, dig for this information. Guys, the information's out there. I believe in you. I trust in you. Once again, create your fate. Love y'all. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.